Hi guys! So if you don't know, I'm already in my second year of medical school and things are getting really challenging. In addition to all the pathologies that I have to study, I also have to study stuff like health informatics, human resources, and ethics. I'm going to be having my ethics exams, so I decided to make this video to help me study and review my concepts. My first video is gonna be about the physician as a social catalyst. Try using the word ethical in a sentence. Ethical, make a video! So before I can talk about the idea of a social catalyst, I have to first talk about the idea of a social contract, as proposed by the philosopher Thomas Hobbes. To help me out, I have my friends here, Barry and Curtis. They're going to help me out with my demonstration of the social contract. So say Barry over here makes candy. He makes lots of candy, and well, that makes him kind of like a plant in a way, in that he creates his own source of energy. However, with diminishing utility, he eventually grows tired of candy, and he sees that Curtis is making coffee. Now, if he were to resort to his primal instincts, he would just go on and steal the coffee from Curtis. However, Barry over here is a rational being, and him being rational, he'll think of a more efficient way to get coffee from Curtis without causing any damage. Now imagine all the members of society followed this exact same decision to think of something much more rational, so that each person could get what each person needs. Therefore, society came up with the social contract. The social contract is a universal contract that everyone in society has to follow. This contract somehow impinges quite slightly on the freedoms of some, but overall, everybody benefits. In the context of a patient-doctor relationship, this social contract keeps a certain kind of trust between the doctor and the patient. The doctor believes that the patient is going to be completely honest and is going to compensate him well, whereas the patient believes that the doctor is going to be fair, is going to treat his disease well, and is not going to do any harm to the patient in the process. However, in a society where the social contract is not followed, eventually you're going to make a culture where nobody trusts each other. The patient is going to be really skeptical of the doctor's treatment and would much rather drink motor oil to cure his disease, whereas the doctor is going to be so defensive with his practice, and he's going to ask for all the tests and make things financially difficult for the patient, just to defend himself from any lawsuits of malpractice. This social contract is based on a certain fiduciary faith or trust that each citizen has for each other, bearing in mind that if everyone follows this social contract, everyone will benefit. It's kind of like game theory, where each person, if they made a decision that consciously they knew would benefit the other, they'd actually be helping themselves just as well. That is why the social contract is essential for a proper patient-doctor relationship. So with this in mind, a social catalyst is someone who works within this society with a social contract and observes, first and foremost, that the social contract is something that actually benefits the members of society. However, there is something more to a social catalyst than someone who just conforms to this social contract. You see, in a chemical reaction, for example, catalysts such as enzymes are chemicals that speed up the reaction without themselves being affected by the reaction. In the same way, a social catalyst is someone who builds upon this social contract in order to make things much better in society. That's a social catalyst. Someone who induces change in society that makes things much more efficient for everyone. Your normal average physician would perhaps, he'll just go with the flow. He'll go with the process. He'll consult the patient, get the history, get the images, get the markers, get the biopsy, and he'll do a diagnosis. Give the medications, bye-bye patient, that's done. But a social catalyst is way more than that. Like an enzyme, a social catalyst is efficient. He sees the normal reaction and finds a way to speed it up so that eventually the entire society is changed. And he himself, unlike an enzyme, he himself is also changed. Changed in a way that doesn't affect his integrity as a person. One example that they keep hammering into us with med school is the example of Jon Snow and the disease that was cholera. You see, in the time of Jon Snow, there was this idea of miasma, that itself being the agent of disease spreading through the air, and if you happen to inhale it, sorry. However, Jon Snow thought that there had to be more than just a floating substance. It was more than just going to each patient, giving their medicine, and watching them eventually die. He got to the root of the problem and made things much more efficient for everyone. He did an investigation. He looked at everyone in his area with the disease of cholera and found out that everyone drank water from a common source. The source of their water was itself contaminated by the agent that caused cholera. It was because of his diligence, his investigation, that he was able to solve the common problem. He was able to eliminate cholera in his area. Another social catalyst that everyone might be more familiar with is Jesus Christ. He saw that the problems in society are more than just people not following the rules, because everyone can follow the rules and yet not have the heart for it. So what he did, he would give up his own life so that everyone would see the heart of the matter and see that, oh, it's not just a matter of following the rules, it's a matter of changing my heart. What does my life really supposed to be? And by doing that, these people would make an even better difference in society. I believe that is what makes a physician a good social catalyst. By looking at these problems and looking at their roots and nipping these roots in the bud, we can actually lessen the problems of disease and injustice for everyone in society. In doing so, we can actually promote better health for all. Health is always more than just a simple absence of disease. It is a complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being. And a physician who is a social catalyst will do his best to make this kind of health a reality. My school, Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health, wants to create that kind of a doctor who goes beyond the norm and looks for solutions to the roots of the problems in healthcare. That was my video. Thank you all for watching. Please stay tuned for my next video where I talk about patient rights. Talk to you. He was able to find out that everyone with this that the patient will be honest and that will